Dr. Brawn is this weird looking doctor that you can find around Palworld, and once you interact with him, you have the option to make him experiment on your pals, giving you the chance to give your pals some passive skills that are rainbow, but you do also risk to give them the opposite and make them really weak. And every time you're doing this surgery, you are getting 15 or 30 minus or plus in your stats, and then you're also getting a negative passive or a positive passive. And there's also combinations where you are losing stats and losing a good passive and gaining a bad passive and the opposite. So you're getting positive passives and losing a bad passive and also getting more stats. And in the best situation, you are getting yourself a rainbow passive that you can breed on to other pals. So what I recommend you to do is to use this pal, because this pal can be breeded into almost all other pals, and then you don't have to risk your perfect pals you already have been breeding. So if you can get some of these perfect passive skills on this pal, you can use it to breed it into a tons of different pals. Dr. Brawn will only perform this surgery once a day, and that means you have to wait for the next day in Palworld. It is Palworld days and not real-time days, and that means you can increase the speed of day and night in your world settings if you want to abuse this. And don't waste your time on catch more than one of him, because the cooldown is shared between multiple Dr. Browns. I did only catch him more than once to make sure that the information that I give is correct. There is also a way that you can abuse this even more, but that's gonna be in another video. Dr. Brawn is not completely random where he spawns, and there is certain spots where he will be spawning. These special spots have the chance of spawning NPCs as Dr. Brawn, but it could also be pal tamers. It could also be a guy who looks like he wants to sell you something, but in the end he doesn't really want to. At some of these spots you also have the chance of spawning massive nests. And just before I show you all these different spots, make sure to subscribe to the channel, it does help me out a ton. The first spot I recommend you to do is going up here, Northern Rock Field, and go there and I will show you the spot. It is right here. If you see other NPCs or a big nest, then you know you are at the right spot. On the same island, a little bit more south, you can go here and then go just over here in the end of the island. There is also a spot where he can respawn. Are you not lucky in any of these two spots? What you can do is go to the beginner island and go close by the little town where there is two different spots. The first one is just close by this cave, and the second one is on the top of these hills. Do you not have any luck here? You can go up north and go all the way up to this lava kind of area where there is also a chance of him to spawn. Another place you can check is right here where you go to the bridge of the Twin Kings, and right here there is also a spawn spot. The rest of the spots I've only heard and read about on Reddit and YouTube, but I can confirm it myself, but these are the spots I would look for if I was you, and I haven't found him yet. One thing you can do instead of just traveling around to all these spots is finding one of the spots. I do recommend to go for this one, and then you just have to go out of the area and back in again, and there will be a new spawn. But do keep in mind that I found one here, I did find one here, and I did find one all the way in the early game area. And the first time I interacted with him was on the new island, close by this fast travel point, right here. So it is worth every time you log in, maybe to check all these areas if you don't want to spam the same spot. And when you are planning on catching him, make sure that you do have some weapons, and make sure that you also have crafted the best spears, since he is not easy to catch. If you have already found him, please consider to put the coordinates in the comments so others can use them. That was all for now. Remember to subscribe, and then remember, when you have two of him, make him experiment on himself so he can taste his own medicine.